The story opens on Sang-Yu, a poor scriptwriter struggling significantly due to his dire financial condition. But that wasn't his biggest problem. His primary terror was that whenever he went to sleep, a monster would appear in his dreams and viciously attack him. This had been happening for the past 6 months, leaving him unable to get a decent night's sleep. Sang-Yu falls asleep as he usually does. He has a dream where he is on a subway train when the monster appears. The monster grabs him and starts beating him. The creature then smashes through the floor of the subway car, pulls Sang-Yu's face out, and begins slamming it against the tracks. Sang-Yu wakes up in a sweat, the terror dragging him out of the dream. He decides to work on his script, but just at that moment his landlord shows up. Sang-Yu hasn't paid rent in months, so he slips out and flees through the window. He stops at a food stall and orders an eggless pancake because he can't afford the one with an egg. However, the stall owner is a kind man and gives him the egg pancake anyway. Sang-Yu's gaze drifts to the cafe across the street, where a girl named Hwar works. He has a one-sided crush on her, having first met her after seeing her perform at a musical concert. Suddenly, his manager friend arrives. Sang-Yu hasn't written the script, so he sees his friend and bolts. In his haste, his pancake falls to the ground. His manager friend chases him down and finally catches him. Afterward, the friend takes him to a restaurant but only orders food for himself, leaving poor, hungry Sang-Yu to just watch him eat. During the meal, his friend Sang-Ji expresses his serious anger over the unfinished script. Sang-Yu tries to tell him about the dreams, how he can't sleep, how his concentration is ruined, and how that's why he couldn't write the script. But Sang-Ji isn't sympathetic. He gives Sang-Yu a strict 10-day deadline to complete the script. Sang-Yu returns to his apartment only to find that his landlord has dumped all his belongings outside. He is now homeless. To pass the night, he goes to a cafe, pulls out his laptop, and tries to write the script again. But he is starving, which kills his concentration, and in his exhaustion, he drifts off to sleep. The nightmare returns. He's back in the subway with the monster. This time, the creature attacks Sang-Yu with chains, eventually wrapping them around his neck and choking him. He wakes up, jolting out of the dream. But after waking up, he discovers his laptop has been stolen. Sang-Yu was already drowning in problems, and now, eviction, a stolen laptop, and non-stop nightmares completely break him. He decides to end his life. He goes to the rooftop of a building to commit suicide. He messages his friend that he's going to kill himself and won't be able to finish the script. Just as he's about to jump, a man saves him. It's the kind footstall uncle who gave him the pancake. The footstall uncle tells him that from now on, whenever the scary dream returns and the monster attacks, he must say, "I am dreaming." He promises that this will pull him out of the nightmare. Sang-Yu cancels his suicide plan. He sells his phone and uses the money to buy food. He is sitting outside a supermarket eating when he sees Hwar approach, which surprises him. As Hwar is talking to him, she suddenly transforms into the monster. Sang-Yu instantly realizes this isn't reality, it's a dream. The monster attacks him with a sword, stabbing it clean through his body, and then throws him inside the store. That's when he remembers the old man's words, and he yells, "I am dreaming." He wakes up, but he is stunned to see that the monster's sword has come out of the dream with him. The sword is visibly unique. He spends the night in a park with the strange sword. The next day, he decides to sell it for some quick cash. He goes to a street market where many people express interest in buying the sword. This tells him it's no ordinary weapon. He takes it to a large antique store and sells it for $20,000. He is ecstatic. He immediately goes to a fancy restaurant and eats a massive meal. He buys a new laptop and checks into a large hotel. He shaves, cleans up, and begins living well. It's true, a little money can change everything. He takes sleeping pills and goes to sleep, determined to go back into his dreams and bring out more valuable items. Since he was in a hotel, his dream takes place in the same hotel. He finds a precious flower vase, picks it up and says, "I am dreaming," but nothing happens. He's still in the dream. He moves forward to figure out why the mantra failed, and suddenly, the monster crashes through the corridor wall. This time, the monster attacks him with a golden axe, severely wounding Sang-yu. Even injured, he manages to grab the axe and shout, "I am dreaming." He returns to the real world with the golden axe, and he notices that the wounds he received in the dream heal instantly. He immediately goes back to the antique shop and sells the golden axe, which fetches him another large sum of money. Sang-yu's life is completely transformed, and his hobbies become expensive. He is very happy with his new life. He wants to bring out the most unique and antique items possible from his dreams to maximize his wealth. Before sleeping, he studies a picture of a museum filled with priceless treasures. His plan works, and he finds himself inside that museum in his dream. He walks through the museum, locates the two most valuable items, places them near him, and waits for the monster to arrive. Soon, the monster appears, but this time it attacks Sang-yu with a machine gun. Sang-yu hadn't expected this. He thought the monster would use a sword or an axe. He tries to defend himself, but the monster succeeds in killing him. He wakes up in his hotel room. Not wanting to return empty-handed, he takes more sleeping pills and goes back into his dream. He materializes exactly where the monster killed him. He quickly gets up, runs to the two antique items, leaps, grabs them, and yells, "I am dreaming." He successfully brings both antique items out of the dream with him. Now, ecstatic because his plan was a success, he goes to a professional dealer to sell the items. He gets $2 million for the two objects. As he steps out after meeting the dealer, he runs into his friend Sang-ji. Sang-ji was furious because he thought Sang-eun was dead, as Sang-eun had messaged him when he was planning to commit suicide, though he didn't go through with it. After this, Sang-eun takes his friend to a large restaurant, where Sang-eun repays the advance amount he had taken to write the script. His friend is astonished at how Sang-eun got so rich in such a short time. To find out the truth, he gets Sang-eun very drunk and takes him to a hotel room. He then starts searching for his wallet, checkbook, and other possessions. Just then, Sang-yoon wakes up with many gold chains in his hands. Seeing this, Sang-ji is initially scared, but now he knows Sang-yoon's secret. After this, he starts living with Sang-yoon. The next day, Sang-yoon finds out that Hwar is selling her cafe. He immediately goes and buys the cafe and makes a deal with Hwar. If the business makes a profit, they'll share it equally, but if there's a loss, only Sang-yoon will bear it. Following this, they start meeting more and more often. Sang-yoon then returns to the hotel and starts dreaming again, where his friend begins to protect his body while he sleeps. Slowly, Sang-yoon gains complete control over his dreams and can do anything he desires within them. His control grew so strong that he even started killing the monsters. In his dreams, he also robbed banks and drove luxury cars. One day, while sitting at his cafe, Sang-eun spots the elderly man through the window, the one who had fed him for free many times. Because of this, he leaves a bag full of cash at the food stall. After closing the cafe, he goes out with Hwar, and after a few clues, she guesses that Sang-eun is a scriptwriter. To avoid getting caught, Sang-eun writes a script, gives it to Sang-ji to read, and goes to sleep. When he wakes up, he sees that Sang-ji liked the script so much that he was crying after reading it. Following this, he sells the script to a film company. To ensure the film is a super hit, he also pays the company extra to choose the best actors. A few days later, while dreaming, he notices something strange. The monster is no longer trying to kill him, but is just sitting there sadly. Sang-Yoon approaches it. He sees a belt fastened around the monster's waist. Sang-Yoon goes to the monster, but it does nothing to him. As Sang-Yoon reaches out to take the belt, his fingers start disappearing, and he feels a burning sensation. But he doesn't give up. He tries again, and this time he succeeds. However, as he was removing the belt, the monster left some marks on his chest with its fingers. Sang-Yoon didn't pay attention at the time, but when he wakes up from the dream, a sword hits him in the exact same spot, and he gets injured there. Because of this, he doesn't plan to loot any treasure the next day and sleeps alone. He then has a dream where he is going up in an elevator in a very tall building, where a person is waiting for him. When he gets closer, he sees the person is none other than Sang-Yoon himself. Frightened, he wakes up from the dream, but he sees that he has wounds on his shoulder and face, the ones the monster had given him earlier. He couldn't understand what was happening, so he decides to go meet the elderly man at the food stall to find answers. However, on the way, some people kidnap him. The kidnappers demand $10 million, which Sang-Yoon has delivered to them through his friend, Sang-ji. Sang-Yoon had no way to escape, so he takes everyone to the special compartment of his apartment, where he kept all the antique and valuable items brought from his dreams. Just then, Hwar arrives at the apartment to meet Sang-Yoon, but the thugs kidnap her too and bring her to him. They then start harassing Hwar to provoke Sang-Yoon, but just then, Sang-ji regains consciousness. Hwar kicks one of the thugs, and Sang-Yoon cuts the hand of another. The three of them manage to flee, but Sang-Yoon was badly hurt and bleeding, so he couldn't run far. Two thugs then catch Sang-ji and kill him. They then start beating both Sang-Yoon and Hwar. A little later, Sang-Yoon finds himself in a pile of rubble, covered in a black liquid. But as he moves forward, the liquid separates from his body. He then comes to a door where he sees that he was being taken away in an ambulance from outside the store that night. He assumes it's a dream and says, "I am dreaming," to wake up, but nothing happens. Instead, his blood starts flowing, and his body begins to change until he turns into the same monster that used to come to kill him. A sword appears in his hand, which he uses to break down the wall and enter Sang-Yoon's living room. The monster then uses a machine gun to kill all the thugs. During this, Hwar is also shot and dies. After that, the monster kills Sang-Yoon as well. Then, all the valuable items Sang-Yoon had brought from his dreams start to vanish. All those items disappear from his collection and the collections of rich people. Then, he opens his eyes and finds himself at the same store where Hwar had turned into a monster. Everything he had seen until now was just a long dream, and he had been sleeping outside that store since then. Hwar had seen him at a music concert, so she recognizes him and takes pity on Sang-Yoon. She talks to him, takes him to her house, and feeds him a real meal. Hwar also tells him that she had read a story written by Sang-eun in a magazine, and that she truly liked it. She says the story could sell for a good price, but until then, she could offer him a job at her cafe. Hearing this, he breaks down and cries. After this, he starts working at the cafe, and his life slowly starts to improve. One day, Sang-Yoon goes to the same food stall to order food. The man then gives him a bag full of cash, the one Sang-Yoon had given him in the dream. The elderly man then shows him a mark on his stomach and tells him that he also possessed the same powers as Sang-Yoon, but he chose to live a simple life. As Sang-Yoon listens to his story, the rubble from his last dream appears behind him. He then sees that the monster who killed the gangsters was watching him when he was talking to Hwar, and the story ends there. If you liked this story, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.